And we
Right.
are recording right now.
All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? It's Bricky, Sarge, and Benny, and we are back for another episode of Life Through Our Lens. And we're going to kind of pick up where we left off last week. And Sarge actually got us a new guest. Want to give us a little introduction?
Wow. This is a history in Life Through Our Lens. We have our first ever guest, my former intramural hockey teammate and soccer classmate, Emily Wolf. Emily, how are we doing today?
What is up, boys? I am good. I am living. It's a Monday, but we're making it through. How are you guys doing today?
Hanging in there, we're ready to record. We're excited to have a female point of view for once, so people aren't just listening to three idiots.
Yeah, I had a little debacle today. I lost my wallet for about 9 hours and felt like I lost part of me, but we found it in the couch. Thank God. Back on track and excited to get this going. Benny?
I'm good, dude. I'm crazy work day a little bit. It's freaking beautiful outside though. Got a little volleyball game at 8:00. Undefeated. So we're playing the number 2 team. So it's time to put a bow on this bad boy. And I'm pretty excited. It's finally
Huge
summer.
tilt.
Yeah. But so yeah. Sarge, thanks for recruiting your old classmate, and I guess Bricky in a sense too. Very curious to have a female opinion. This is going back on the When Harry Met Sally question: can men and females be just friends? So very curious to kick it off. Sarge or Bricky, you take the first jab. We've kind of already had our opinions. We seem to be all in one. What do you guys think?
Well, I want to just jump into a quick recap of what we talked about last week. So I think the three of us, we had different point of views to start with. We started off with, there's different scenarios: single, in a relationship, group settings, one-on-one, all that type of stuff. But when we came down to it at the end, we all said no. And so Emily, Benny and I, both of our wives said yes. His sister said yes. And so now what do you got?
I would say, in typical fashion, the women in your life are correct. And you absolutely can be friends.
Just friends.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Hands down, without a doubt, could not be more clear cut. Yes is the answer for me.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Oh my gosh. So would you say that all of your guy friends are not physically attracted to you?
I can say that with 100% certainty.
You're lying to yourself.
Bullshit.
I'm not.
And
I'm
also
not.
those guys are lying
I am
to
not.
you.
I'm not lying.
Okay. Let's
Yeah,
not
sorry,
go
that was
too hard
aggressive.
around or too early.
That's okay. We all got a little too
How-
heated for a second. We can bring it back down.
How do you know there's no physical attraction?
If I'm being completely honest, there are certain things. So how, Zach, I think you mentioned in the last episode, you said like you could never pick up on things because you had square wheels. In a sense, I am the same way, but also I approach every single person in my life that's not a female. I will automatically assume that they just want to be friends with me. That's always what I have assumed. That's always what I've been raised on. I have 4 older brothers. Unless it's something that I go into wanting more than a friendship, I am always going to assume baseline friendship at all times. And I am someone that does have a lot of guy friends. I was raised around guys. I have a lot of similar interests. That's very normal to me. And
Okay.
especially in college too, where our friend group was probably 40% guys, 20% girls. And that's again, it's very normal. And also, none of us were dating in our friendship. Like in our friend group, no one was dating each other. And still to this day, that's true. We've brought in other guys, other girls to like welcome them into the group, but still none of us have dated each other. And I think it's like because we never had that thought ever.
Okay. I want to jump in here real quick. So we kind of had something along the lines of this discussion last week where it was you're your buddy's got a girlfriend and she is brought into the group, and Benny kind of debunked it and said, that's more of an acquaintance. So you said you have kind of a big group where there's a lot of guys, a lot of girls. Are you guys primarily hanging out in that group, or are you hanging out with dudes in that group one-on-one, girls in that group one-on-one?
Yes, both. I have done both. And even one of my very best friends, one of my favorite people to walk this earth, his name is Kale. He moved to Montana a couple years ago, and me and his girlfriend planned a surprise for me to come in and visit him on his birthday, because we are such good friends that like I flew out to surprise one of my best friends who is a guy. That's
Without
normal
her.
to me. She lives there with him.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
she helped organize
Wow.
the entire thing, but it's still a matter of like, I wanted to go see, my best friend. And even dating that back with that same person, when I first started seeing my boyfriend that I previously had in college, I wanted to go see Kale's sister with him. So I just started dating this guy like a week ago. And I was like, hey, I'm going to be leaving town for the weekend with one of my guy friends to go see his sister. And I think from the outside looking in, like everything is, you would assume that's kind of sketchy. Like that's fucked up. You probably wouldn't be cool with that. But in a way, it's like, I think it depends on the individual person and their character and who they are when, you're not around. Or like you have to know the individual person for this theory to kind of play out. But I'm someone, I would think that I'm very trustworthy. Like you have nothing to worry about. And I think that is the main factor in, deciphering this question of yours is, who are you talking about? And
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that's kind of shitty to say, like it depends on the person, but I think it really does. And I've always considered myself a person that's like very capable of friendship, no matter who they are, what they look like. I'm going to be friends with you if you're cool. Like if I want to hang out with you, then let's fucking do it. I don't care if you're a guy.
All right.
I don't care if you're a girl.
I like it. Okay, so we're covering a lot of ground right now. So I want a quick pause. There's a couple things you said that I want to make sure we don't just gloss over.
Okay.
One, so your best friend had a girlfriend who you were also friends with, Kale. You were friends with his girlfriend.
I was friends with him long before she was in the picture, though.
Okay, so when she came into the picture, how did that dynamic go where you kind of earned the trust of her, per se? I don't know how to phrase it, but do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, how did that go?
Yeah, I think I do understand what you're trying to ask. And again, it's situational based on the person, because when someone has an insecurity with their partner, with their significant other, if there's a lack of trust from the get-go, you're never going to sincerely believe that, this girl is just their friend or this guy is just their friend. But it's a matter of when you welcome somebody into a friend group, when you're a boy-girl friend dynamic, I think right off the bat, if you're friendly, if you're welcoming, if you establish the fact that, yes, you are just friends with someone, then, it can be a very like solid foundation of, I guess, a relationship.
Okay. And then I guess one more question I have just on that topic is, once he started dating this girl, did you and him still hang out one-on-one, like exclusively, or was that off the table after he started dating her?
I don't think it was off the table at all. I'm trying to think of like times, because like I said, we took a road trip together to go see his sister. Like we would do stuff like that. And nothing changed when he got a girlfriend or when I got a boyfriend. Like that happened when I was dating somebody else. So it was seriously the same dynamic as it always had been, no matter what outside factors were part of our life. And that's just one example. I have that same example with, several other friends.
How long were you friends with Kale before the girlfriend came into the picture?
Probably 3 years.
Okay. This is a spicy question. Was there ever any physical intimacy
Between me and him?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
Oh, wow. Okay, there we
No.
go. Okay, so it's like that door got shut pretty quickly. It was just
Yeah.
strictly
That's-
platonic
I don't
friendship.
think that
'Cause-
door was ever open.
Okay.
So how do you decipher that? Because I feel like most guys, and I don't speak for all of us, but maybe the majority would. There has to be the thought crossing your mind at some point if you're friends with just a female. That's at least in my mind. If I'm just like exclusively hanging out with a girl doing boyfriend, girlfriend type stuff, even if it's just friends, that thought has to cross your mind at some point.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I believe last episode that you said your entire life you've been a girlfriend guy.
True. Yeah. No, you're right.
So how would you know how to decipher that difference? I'm not trying to like speak down on
No,
you.
you're good.
But when you are somebody that has had a girlfriend forever or like has always been like a relationship guy, which
Yeah.
I am the exact opposite of that. How can you like, I guess I'm not trying to say you don't have credibility to speak on it, but like
That's fine, dude. Let it rip.
you I just don't know how you can't understand that. Or like I know how you can't understand that because you've never let yourself be in that position.
So it was always a barrier. It was easy to shut down. I was just like, hey, I'm not available. So I knew that. But I was never outwardly seeking female friendships. If I made friends like in school or like work or whatever, that was different, but it was never a seek female friendship. And it might have just been more from past girlfriends being like, hey, why are you spending time with so and so? I don't know.
Right.
That's a character issue, Benjamin.
Oh yeah, and I think all three of us collectively have had some we got some skeletons in our closet from past relationships. So maybe we're just skewed and we need to get schooled on the new way.
Well, and I was gonna say, like, I grew up with Sarge, and we had like a super tight friend group of like 5 or 6 dudes, and I think we like straight up repelled women, like our group. So we never even had anyone who wanted to even consider coming in, just because it was like, dude, these guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, and I think even Sarge, like you knew me because I would be the only girl showing up to come and skate with a bunch of people. This was open skating, right? And we're at the University of Minnesota Duluth. A lot of people like hockey there, but oftentimes when you're in a situation where there's like a lot of guys doing it and a guy activity, I think girls will be like intimidated. They won't want to do it. They'll be too self-conscious, whatever. Like I grew up, playing hockey with boys. So why would I not do that now? I don't really care what they think. If I want to play hockey, I'm going to play hockey. I don't care who they are. I'm going to enjoy my time. And if I just so happen to like be friends with them, cool. Like that's awesome.
I want to go on record saying that was not a good time because we lost every single fucking game. But I didn't enjoy.
I would like to go on record saying that the intramural hockey team I was on before you, I won the championship.
Oh, I'm well aware. We lost all of our best players to graduation, and we were left with like 3 of the normal people that we had, and we had just a ragtag group. And it was just awful. It was no fun. I'm not used to losing like that ever in my entire life. But so that was interesting. That was more like just getting in your exercise than
oh, for sure.
Oh my
but we
God.
had a damn good time. No one
that
can
is
tell
a
us
fact.
differently. We had fun.
Totally.
Showed up, had a good time, went -7, went home. Call it a day.
That's what happens when I play defense. Never done it in my life.
All right.
But,
well,
yeah, back on the rails.
Yeah,
Holy
let's
hell.
bring it back on the
yeah,
rails here. So another point you brought up, Emily, was you got a new boyfriend in college. Like a week later, you went away to visit one of your guy friends. How did your boyfriend at the time take that?
I think, so like outwardly to me at the time, he was just like, yeah, that's cool. I think probably internally he was freaking out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I know like he had his own like fucked up past with his his previous girlfriend. She was batshit crazy. But I mean, the thing is, I'm not going to let someone stop me from like enjoying my time with the people that I love just because they had something in their past that scarred them, that scarred their mind. I'm not going to let, their trauma kind of deter my own character or who I am or what I want to do because it's my life,
Absolutely. It seems to happen in a lot of relationships. I can definitely relate to that. Like, it's like, why the hell am I getting the wrath here? I didn't do shit. Like, that was them. It's me, you know? I completely agree.
Right. And
Can
it's
relate.
unfortunate, but at the same time, I'm, sitting here in front of you guys saying like, yes, guys and girls can be friends when all of you three are like, no, they can't be. So it's just like,
So
I don't know.
clarify, I want to make sure it's more like on a one-on-one setting. Because
Yes.
definitely like we have female friends, but it was more the breakdown of like one-on-one, can men and women just be friends? And I'm not talking past friends. It's more like right now. If you were to meet a new guy and you were like, I vibe with this dude, I want to be friends with this guy, and this guy wants to hang out with you too, and you have a boyfriend, is that cool? Like, are you gonna go like chill with this individual? I mean, you're not married or like, whatever you want to consider it. So that's more the line we're trying to walk. Cause I think we all
Yeah.
agree, like group setting, like there's definitely females in our lives, obviously, that we hang out with, but they're more like from another female friend or
Mhm.
like a girlfriend or wife or whatever from a male friend. So that's like the true breakdown. Cause that's when it goes down. And this whole thing again came from when Harry met Sally. And that's the whole thing. They're like, it just isn't impossible. One person always falls for one person. Somebody's needs aren't being met. How does it work? And I'm curious. This is great because you're throwing it back, and you know what? You seem very independent, which is cool. No man's gonna hold you down.
Yeah. Which is probably to my own fault sometimes, which hand up, I get that. But like at the same time, it's like if that's who I am and how I act, then like I guess I'll just have to wait and find someone that's like cool with that.
Yeah.
And I can you ask the question that you had phrased again?
How did I phrase it? Oh, just strictly if you were gonna be just like starting now, because relationships when we were in like high school, college, I feel like it's different. There's a little bit, we're all like immature, not vulnerable, whatever. If you were to meet a new male friend right now with a boyfriend, or sorry, you have a boyfriend, you meet a new male friend right now, and you guys are just like homies right off the bat, you vibe. Are you cool like just going to be with like that dude solo, just like hang out with another guy solo if you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
What about like, what do you think your boyfriend would say? And I feel bad for said boyfriend.
And it's so hard to answer that
Yeah.
hypothetical question because it's like, first of all, this person does not exist. Second of all,
There we
I
go.
guess I would still like communicate it and run it by it like this person. It's not like I'm ever trying to hide something ever. I don't do that. I'm not really about that. I think people that are about that are shady as fuck.
Yeah.
If you want to hang out with someone that's a friend, just say that. It's not that hard to say, you know?
Sure.
And there's not really like a sense in lying about it or being dishonest, or I guess the more honest and upfront you are, the less likely that other person is to spiral and assume things. And it's like, if you have questions, ask me, come to me. Don't sit there and like self-sabotage and think and just be down the whole
yeah.
like time, like, you know, because would that, fuck with your guys' head?
It already kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like my
I mean,
brain's in a pretzel right
Yeah,
now.
I'm in a mental pretzel. Sarge is a big monkey and cymbals
Yeah.
clanging. I'm just, things are, it's such a loaded question. I don't know. When I was younger, sure. Now I'm like, all right, if I like started hanging out with another girl solo, I would never do that. I would never ever do that.
I see. For I think for all three of us, like, oh man, it's gonna sound so shitty, but I have zero desire to be like, you know what? I want to hang out with a chick today and not try to, take it to the next level as far as like at least minimum physically, but like, try to, get a relationship out of this. I have sisters. I can fucking ask them shit, like, and they're cool. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's different
Sarge,
from that.
I'm looking at my notes that I took from the last episode, and I'm just gonna read this one. It says, Sarge, never hung out one-on-one with a chick as friends? ? Buddy, what? Can you not sincerely enjoy the company of another female with common interests as you?
But I
So-
think that's the trick for guys. We find a girl that likes the shit
Oh my God.
that we do,
I'm
and
a
then we're
dick.
like, we're all in.
That's,
know.
but I don't get that. Like, I don't get that at all.
I just, man, that's so
I don't
tough,
either.
man. I'm
But also,
maybe it's just not going to compute for men and female. That's,
Dude,
I don't know.
it doesn't
It
to
is-
me.
Yeah, I'm lost. I'm lost in the sauce right now.
and at the same time, I can kind of rebuttal myself with saying like I mentioned earlier, I am also someone with like very square wheels. Like I don't recognize if somebody is trying to flirt with me ever. And unless it's like spelled out in front of me, I'm never going to assume that someone is ever interested in me.
Okay, so hold on.
Unless
Pause.
I approach the situation because I'm interested first.
Okay, so on
Good
that
point.
point, so the whole thing was the reason that men and women can't be just friends because one person's need is not getting met. So what we've established is, yes, you yourself are able to view your guy friends as just a friend, but what if that is not being viewed the same way on the opposite end?
But who's to say that it's not?
Me right now.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
fucking friends.
At this point in my life, I don't think that we would still be friends if that was the case.
You
Okay.
should
How many-
ask. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
How many male friends have you had, just like good male friends, and then all of a sudden they're just kind of like ghost protocol, or they start going, like, yeah, she's not interested. Maybe they were like just homies with you for a while, and then they develop feelings, or they want to take it to the next level, jealousy, whatever. How many of that? Any of that?
Never.
Nothing?
Nothing ever like that has happened. And it's like, I guess, I don't know. It's really weird. And I would say, so the majority of college, like I was in a relationship, even like after college for like a year or two. So I still had these friendships before when I was single throughout my entire relationship. And now that I am single again and have been single for a while, it's like that dynamic has never changed throughout the phases of my life based on who I was with. And also that dynamic hasn't changed based on who they were with too. Because I think when you have like such a bond or like a friendship with someone, like it shouldn't matter who their partner is or if they're single or not. Like a friendship is a friendship, and I think it should like always stay that way. And that's
So-
how I see things.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I think you're the queen of friend zoning people. And you don't even
Yes, that's what
realize
I was about to say. How many times have you fucking friend zoned some people? I bet it's in the hundreds.
I, I highly doubt that. I don't think that that's true.
Yes. Okay. Think about. Okay.
Because
wait.
I think I am the
Back-
one that
See, backtrack here. You just said I always approach that we are going to be friends. So this dude's probably laying his best game on. I'm going after M tonight. Blah blah blah. And he's like, shit, I'm in the fucking friend zone because that's exactly what you do every single time. So
And a
you
lot of
friend
guys are
zone a ton of people.
a lot of guys are scared, and you know what? They'll take being a friend with the hope, that frick Dumb and Dumber line. Like, there's a chance. You're telling me there's a chance. What's a chance?
there's a chance.
with one chance to just be like, maybe, just maybe. But if they're not friends, that's on to the next.
I think again that's something that's very circumstantial. Actually, like a lot of the majority of my friendships that I had in college that I'm still maintaining today all happened because my very first, like, it's so crazy. I was single my entire life. I went to college, like met someone who played football at UMD and then like was with them like almost right away in college. So all of my friends that I got were because of him. He sucked. So I still got to maintain a friendship with all his teammates even after we weren't together.
Interesting. Because
So
we
you
were talking about
okay.
how like they gone after after your homeboy.
No, that was not the case at
Oh,
all with us
interesting.
because I got to like become so close with these guys that like I was still always welcome. And it was like that was what it was.
Okay, what about reverse? What about have you been hanging out with some dude that you wanted to take it to the next level, but. Never got there or whatever. Has that ever happened?
I'm trying to think. There was like one situation where I think like I thought that that's what I wanted, and then it like clicked in my brain that I was like, no, you dumb bitch, that's not what you want. You're just lonely. Like, like stop. So that it happened like one time, but after that, I'm just like, I think I'm confident enough in myself to where like I just don't ever like take it there, but also I don't ever think that anybody else wants to take it there. So I don't, it's a very weird dynamic. But at the same time, I'm confident in the fact that that dynamic is one that you can have and can maintain if you want to. And like someone like Sarge, clearly he doesn't give a fuck. Like he has no interest, which that's fine. Like if you don't want to have girlfriends, then you don't have to.
Oh, go on. I'm like this. I'm coming off as like the biggest asshole. Like I just
It's because
have
you are
no
an
interest
asshole.
in yes, that is true. I just have no interest in being in the friend zone at all. Like one and done. Happened once, never again. And I'm just so maybe hell bent on that. That maybe I should probably open up my mind a little bit.
That's called trauma, and I think you maybe need to talk to somebody about it.
We're unpacking our demons right
Holy
now.
shit.
Oh man,
I'm
deep.
getting roasted here. I love it. No, gosh, that's great. Okay, another thing. Is it possible to actually come out of the friend zone? Like, do you think it's possible? Like, I mean, not in maybe your situation, but like, do you think it is possible? Because I don't think it's possible. I think once you're there, you are in limbo.
I think like you had said, it's very circumstantial, and I can't really speak to anybody else's experiences or situations, but I have seen it happen before. I genuinely have. Actually, there is one couple in our friend group who are dating, and at first they like tried to hide it from everyone. Like it got like, and then everyone started realizing, and now they're like totally fine, whatever. But they both got pulled out of that zone and found each other, which nobody saw that coming. But like they did. So I guess it is possible. I just, like I said, I can't speak on.
So then they were never friends.
But that's just false because they were. He actually used to hook up with her roommate.
Oh, saucy.
Yeah, I probably should not be saying.
We'll cut that. We'll cut
take
that.
We'll cut
that.
that.
Don't worry.
Thank
All
you.
right, let's take a quick pause. How long have we been running?
I haven't set a timer.
Okay.
About 25.
Okay. How are we feeling right now? Is there anything else we want to cover?
Oh, I don't know. This has been awesome. Thank you.
This has been
seriously
super good.
We could just keep
Yeah.
ripping.
Just
For sure. If you guys want to keep going, I'm more than happy to. It's up to you. I have time. So.
Oh man, this is so interesting.
It's so fucking interesting.
You know what?
I'm a
So
dick, dude.
let me
So am I, dude. So am I.
Yeah.
I'm a dick too then. Just like
None of what I have said has swayed your mind at all. Like you are
None.
still hell bent on like you're not interested. So that's on you guys.
It's not that I'm not interested. It's just maybe internally I don't trust myself fully. But if I was to just start hanging out with a female independently, I would probably be lacking something in the current relationship that I
literally,
have.
Emily, you don't know me.
What would I be getting from that person? Right?
I'm literally the horniest person alive. It would just be impossible. Like it would be impossible. I would have to do something. I feel, or be like, all right, well, I'm leaving now because this is getting weird. Like.
Once again, buddy, self-control. It's just,
dude,
I just don't understand that.
The most self-controlled male friends.
Yes, I agree. I think all your friends, your friends have got to be just very mature for their age.
They got more square wheels than Bricky.
Or maybe they don't have square wheels and they're wheeling everybody else on the side. Yeah, they don't need to.
They got the whole friend group.
And that's the thing too, is like, as a female that is friends with guys, I am always like a space where they can go to be like, how do I act with this girl? What do I do? What's your advice? Like, And then I can have that same thing with them. Like one of my, it's, I don't know. Do you have, Sarge looks like he's cooking something up in that little
I
brain of
used
his.
to, like in high school, I used to have those friends, but I'm not friends with them anymore just because of just time in general.
Yeah.
But like, I also have, like, I have two sisters who I would do that to, or like, what the hell?
But I didn't grow up, like, I didn't have sisters, you know,
Right.
growing up. I
But
had
you're
brothers.
talking to dudes though.
And I approach them like I approach my brothers. Like, that's who
Right.
they are to me. That's,
Do you ever feel taken advantage of? Do you ever feel like you're a fluffer?
no.
Not at all. You don't feel like you contribute more than you receive?
I mean, in certain circumstances, probably, but that's just because as a person, I always give more than I take. And that's how it always been.
Okay. Because that's where I think all three of us combine. And it might just be more the male sentiment, or we're all just assholes and just totally ignorant to society. I'm not totally sure. That's maybe the consensus. It's going to be funny to see, but I don't know. Like,
So
Bricky,
all three of you would say that in a friendship and or relationship, like, you have to get something in order to give something.
Yes.
it's like literally like the research that we were reading. That's so every friendship, and maybe we need to define what a true friend really is. It's
That's-
all give
I
and
was gonna
get,
ask that
right?
next.
It has to be a reciprocation. Like, they are getting something valuable from you and you are receiving something valuable in return. And when those needs don't meet anymore, that's when shit hits the fan. It could be with female, male, but male, female, there's always that component because males are more inclined to want sex or some sort of physical act, and females are more, they don't really give a shit as much. And maybe they do. Maybe there's some wire crossing that happens. But
Yeah, they want a shoulder to cry on, right?
support. I don't know. Maybe
The look Emily is
Do
giving you
I
right
look
now.
like the type of person who needs or wants a shoulder to cry on?
I
Me?
knew that would get you going, and I just you hit it out of the park.
All right. So I guess, okay. So to rein it back in a little bit. So in the last episode, we had kind of said one of the circumstances, friends before you're dating someone. And clearly you have guy friends who you are friends with. And so I guess like in mine and Ben's situation, like we're married. I don't have any close friends who are girls. I guess, and like we said, the wives, the girlfriend, like I would consider all of them my friend, but I would never hang out with them alone. And even on top of that, if I were to just meet a new girl at work and be like, hey, I'm gonna go grab dinner with her instead of my wife, like that's like crossing a line for myself almost. That feels weird to me to do that.
And that's so different because I'm not in your shoes. I'm not in that situation.
Right.
I've never been married. I've never had an interest of being married. I have never gotten there. So I can't speak to like what it's like in a marriage versus just as a regular person. But I can see how there would be blurred lines for you guys in that situation because unless you or your partner are like 110% secure and trusting of each other, like then that would probably be like a little weird. I guess I don't really know, but at the same time, like it's all so situational. Like this entire topic is very situational, but overarchingly, my answer is still gonna be yes, of course.
See, and that's where we cross wires because there's so much fucking traffic that we're like, it's just easier not to have them. And again, like Bricky said, like, for my job, like I work with a lot of females in work, but like it's in a work setting. So it's never in like a, personal time setting. That's when I feel like it would be, that's dicey. That's dicey. I don't know. And maybe that's like guy code, or like maybe we were just brainwashed that we can't, I don't know. Brickner, I'm now my brain's churning. Maybe I'm moving toward a maybe, but a hard no. No.
It's an absolutely not.
Yeah, it just, I don't know.
Let me ask Bricky and Benny, if I'm hanging out with a girl one-on-one, do you think we're just friends?
No.
But that's because of who you are as a person.
Yeah, scumbag.
But Sarge, we have a buddy who is friends with every girl ever. You know who I'm talking about.
True.
Every
He might
girl.
just be really smart. And
He's either super smart and he's not gay, like he's straight. Like
You know that for a fact.
so I think so we went 2 episodes worth and we're just coming down to it's situational. No solid answer for you.
Let's stamp it.
I think that is signed, sealed, delivered, definitely situational, but at the same time, and like I said, for me personally, this is all what I've gone through in my experience. I'm not trying to speak on any other females or their experiences too, but even like how you two said, your wives, your sisters, they all also said like, yeah, of course, like that's normal. So is it situational, or is it just because like certain, like you guys can't get past certain things? I don't know.
It's just, I guess at the end of the day, it's not worth the risk. I just feel like, I'm going skydiving continuously, and one day
But
there's not going to be a parachute.
What is the risk of having a companion? I just don't understand. Like,
before being married, nothing, 0%, because at the end of the day,
and that's
now it's at the point where I feel like I'd be crossing the line on like my own morality. Not that I would ever do anything, but shit happens, right? If you put yourself in the same position over and over and over again, like things happen. If you start hanging out with somebody who you vibe with, shit could get dicey. Just don't put yourself in bad situations. I'm just trying to lower the risk tolerance. Maybe that's a bad outlook. I don't know. I don't know. Everyone's speechless. I feel like I'm just spinning wheels over here.
Well,
no,
you go, Emily.
Sorry, go. I was just gonna say, I think the question is better posed for single people and then also for married people. Like, I think they're two different things. I genuinely do. Because I am so far removed from the boat that you guys are in. Like, y'all are in a boat, I'm on an island. Like, we are not even, like, I'm in the Atlantic and you guys are in the Pacific. I just can't even imagine or relate or kind of understand anything what you guys are thinking or saying or feeling, because it's so different from my situation.
Dude, I have scary news for you. You sound exactly like my wife like 3 years ago.
What?
She's like, I'm never getting married. She's similar contract, right? Like 2 older brothers, always chill with the guys, just like a dude, just a total homie.
That's literally like my MO.
Yeah, so like watch out, dude. Just watch out. You think you're on an island. Somebody's playing their cards right. You got a lot of male friends. They're playing the numbers. They're hoping that one day.
I don't know about all that.
Well, you had square fucking wheels, so how the hell would you know?
Exactly. God.
What do they have to do? Grab your butt or something? Okay, wait.
That's not
all right. Well, we'll cut that.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. The whole Me Too thing. I just, and also, like I said, in a situation like that, I think I have to be the one to like have interest in order for something to come to fruition for me. Because if I don't have interest, like, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
But that doesn't make your point.
It drives the point home, because every male has an interest, whether they
no,
we all have incorrect. This like lizard brain. It's like we can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of it. It's always a dangling thought. Whether you are the nicest, most square-wheeled individual, Minnesota nice, whatever, there's always a twinge of like, and I guarantee you, 10 times out of 10, maybe 99 out of 100, they would do it.
One beat.
You're wrong. You're so incorrect.
All right, ask your male friends.
Yes, I would like to talk to them.
I want to ask your male friends. I want to be like, hey.
We need an anonymous poll.
Anonymous poll.
Anonymous poll. We don't have to show it to anybody, but now I'm like, really
I'm
curious.
super
I want to
curious,
pull the
too.
whole United States.
It's for science.
Yeah.
For scientific purposes.
Let's debunk this.
Okay, well, should we wrap her up now? It's
Yeah.
Wrap it up, Ricky.
You're the wrap it up guy.
I fucking can't wrap it up right now. I'm flustered.
His
have
brain
to.
is in a pretzel.
You're the
It's
wrap it
not
up
You
in a
want
guy.
me to
pretzel.
wrap it up here?
Yeah, you wrap
Obviously,
it up.
okay.
Wrap it up,
So the
wrap it
general
up.
consistency or the general consensus. My God, now my brain is in a pretzel too. The general consensus is it's very situational, and it depends on the person. And I'm right, and all of you guys are wrong. So, I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode. And thanks for having me on, guys.
Yes, we loved it. This was super, super interesting, and I hope all you listeners will enjoy it as well. I know we sure as hell did, and depending on what the reaction we get, we'll probably have to have you on again for maybe part 3, or it's just something else. Maybe we'll talk completely different. Like, I really want. We'll get into this later, but I want to know what the hell a dude at the bar should say to a chick. But we'll save that for later. For now, everyone, thanks for listening, and spread the word, you freaking turds. Take her easy.
All right, just stop the recording.